Welcome to the live stream. We are going to be looking at Black Bolt and White Flare. We have the wrong screen there, but that's okay. We'll fix that right now. We have some awesome stuff from this new set.
Some awesome.
New pairs. I said some awesome stuff.
Bury
Okay.
the excitement, why don't you?
The person from the Gen 5 stand is less.
Yeah, okay.
Danny
So for the
today.
record, if you know anything about me, I'm the Gen 5 guy. And I think this set is hot ass. So this set is not great. Like, okay, let me put it this way, right? The trainers and the energy are the coolest part of this set.
We're
If
gonna
that
look at
tells
them.
you
We're gonna
anything.
look at them first. So there's that.
So the trainers and the trainers and the energy have gotten me way more excited than any of the single Pokemon in the set did. Other than maybe Electric, but
Also, are all the IRs revealed yet?
No, not even close.
close. Or maybe like a quarter of the way.
Why
through.
didn't they reveal them all at once?
Oh, shut up.
I agree. They should just drop them all.
All right. First up, we have Air Balloon.
Yippee!
We last saw Air Balloon in Sword and Shield base set. This is very clearly meant to be a replacement for Floatstone, as they don't want Floatstone back in format.
Yeah, Rescue Board is not enough.
Mercy Board is not enough, but Air Balloon is very welcome.
Air Balloon is so great. I love that this card got reprinted.
Yeah, agreed.
I actually get to not have to pay anything on my retreats.
And I'm gonna look forward to looking through all my book for all those prize pack air balloons.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I'm very excited for Air Balloon to come back. It is a very good card. It's basically just a direct upgrade for Rescue Board.
Because the last time we saw it was SV base.
No, SSH base. Sword and Shield.
Sorry, I meant Sword and Shield base. Sorry, I don't know why I said SV base.
Yeah, Sword and Shield base.
So we
So,
have Scoop Knife also back.
Scuba
fuck no.
with the same text too.
That would be the next
not
step.
updated text.
Antique Cover Fossil is a reprint. We have that currently in standard. Plume Fossil, however, is new.
Oh, whoa,
Uh,
whoa. Are we gonna get a face reveal?
No, but that
I
glitched out something fierce. I don't know.
What is it?
It did. Check out the
Yeah, I
stream.
hit the stream too.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's fun. I'm not sure why it died there, but it did.
We got
But all I'm saying is that a new fossil just messed with the electronics.
Sure.
Arkin said, "Don't talk about me."
So Antique Plume Fossil plays card as or a 60 HP basic colors Pokemon. This card can't be affected by any special conditions and can't retreat.
So for the record, too, these can use TMs, right?
They can, yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
you could attach TN Evolution to it, attach an energy, and use that.
And they can attack, right? Yeah.
They can attack us.
That's so awesome. I love that.
So at any time during your turn, you can discard this card from play. It has the ability Wing Protection as long as this Pokemon's on your bench. Prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon.
Bench barrier.
So a built-in bench barrier. Yeah. And then we have Brave Bengal.
This card is so great. It's about
The-
damn time we got this card.
I agree, it's overdue. The attacks of the Pokemon this card is attached to, excluding Pokemon with a Roblox, do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon EX before applying weakness and resistance.
So good.
It is very welcome.
We've wanted this card literally since Choice Band came out.
I've-
basically
Well, Choice
Belt. Sorry,
Well, even not quite then.
'Cause Choice-
Scarlet Violet base.
Choice Band was the GX one, right?
Choice Band was GX. Choice
And
Belt
Choice Belt was V's.
V's. But this would have been really great to have in Scarlet and Violet base.
That should have been in Scarlet Violet.
If not Scarlet and Violet base, like Paldea Evolved or Obsidian Flamed. Like one of the very
Yeah,
first sets,
it
it should have been there. It was not. This card is long overdue.
This card fixes math in so many matchups.
It's
not
good.
even fun.
It's very,
It
very
literally makes like all these 330 HP stage 2s like actually within killable range now, and for a lot of decks.
Yeah. This card's super, super exciting.
Like
to
my
see.
Pikachu EX gets the one shot Charizard EX now, and I love it. I love it.
So this card does not add damage to Roblox Pokemon.
What?
Roboxes can't use it.
Robloxes don't get the bonus.
Oh fuck! Never mind. This card's ass.
No, it's just like Silver Bengal. It's literally just like Silver Bengal. So the attacks of this Pokemon is attached to excluding Pokemon with Roblox. Do 30 more
Oh,
damage
I
to your
read this
opponent's
card
active
wrong.
Pokemon with
I read
active
this
Pokemon
card
EX.
very wrong.
So yeah, this is Pokemon without a rule box that get the bonus damage, not Pokemon with rule
Yeah,
box.
never mind. This card is not nearly as good as I thought.
I'm very excited for it, so I think it's very, very worth it. And it's basically Silver Bengal, but you know, braver, I guess. Sharon, draw 3. It's trash. Energy coins, flip 2 coins at both their heads. Search your deck for a basic energy card attached to one of your Pokemon, then shuffle your deck.
I think you read it wrong. It's just flip 2 points.
It is flip 2 coins, which is fun to do sometimes. I don't think you need a card to play that, though. Energy retrieval gets a reprint with a refreshed regulation mark.
God
It does extend. I can't talk today. It extends regulation mark to regulation mark I, which is good. Fennel is a wonderful bolt card featuring a character some people know about. You heal 40 damage from each of your
She's
Pokemon.
the Musharna lady.
Yes, I get that. Harlequin.
Sorry, quick question.
What's up?
Our banner says Black Flare and White Bolt.
Wait, does it really?
Banner says what?
Black Flare and White Bolt.
Excellent.
That's perfect. Just making sure. We
I'll fix it in a second.
I didn't realize it was April 1st.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, Harlequin is nice,
Harlequin's awesome.
but it's also just kind of a joke. It's clowning around, if you will. So each player shuffles their hand into their deck, then flip a coin. If heads, you draw 5 cards and your opponent draws 3. If tails, you draw 3 and your opponent draws 5.
I think this is just worse Illima.
I mean, kind of.
Because Illima at least was you could top it, draw 6, but
It's not great. Let's be
no,
honest.
I think Judge is just
we
better.
use it. We would use it to build decks for learn to plays.
Did Judge get an updated regulation mark?
No, I
newest
think
one?
it's the same one. I do think it is the
Because
same.
it got a new
New art,
print
but
in Death and Rivals, right?
Yeah, it is in Destined Rivals. I do not know if it has regular benchmark.
Was there was a regular art for it, right? It wasn't just a full art?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Black Flare,
Yeah,
White
I
Bolt.
love it. I don't know how I got that. That's funny though.
That's hilarious.
Up next is Hilda. Hilda says, search your deck for an evolution Pokemon and energy card, reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck.
I had to do a double take when I first saw this card because I was like, haven't we already gotten a Hilda? And then I was like, no,
We haven't.
It's Rosa that we've gotten.
Rosa we had not gotten a Hilda. I actually really like this,
This
card.
card's kind of fire.
I, for one, am excited for the SIR.
It being able to grab just an energy card is pretty sick.
Yeah.
So you just grab your
I mean, it reminds me a bit of, what was it? I remember his name.
Chorus?
No, Marnie's brother.
Piers.
Piers, where you could just search for dark Pokemon and a special, or an energy.
Yeah.
A lot of times you would just use it to find
Yeah.
the energy, yeah, like a special energy card. Which, I mean, in that format, it mattered a lot more, right? But, and now we have stuff like Colress's.
But, I mean, for certain decks, I think,
Well,
I mean, up front.
If your deck, especially that relies on like ignition energy, I think Hilda's really
Yeah,
good.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
if we get a Mega Rayquaza set down the line, and then you like you play your Mega Rayquaza. Oh wait, it's not an evolution anymore. Never mind. I figured it's gonna be a basic. Ugh, that feels wrong.
For Ignition?
No. You can't grab a Mega Rayquaza with Hilda because it's gonna be a basic.
Well, if it were like a new Mega Rayquaza, it would still be a basic stage, right?
Yeah,
Ye-
because the old ones were evolution.
Oh,
This
you're
one is,
right.
This one's gonna be basic. You can't. Never mind. Ignore what I was gonna
Wow, it's
say.
gonna be so there's your
There will
basic
be basic Megas, yeah.
Basic Megas, yeah.
basic
That feels so wrong. I hate
three
that.
I hate
price.
it too. Yeah.
A basic three. The basic three prices are back, baby.
Yay. Now that they ruined the game the first time they were here.
We get Mega Arceus, Dialga, Palkia.
Oh, piss off. Up next is In's plot. Move up to 2 energy from your bench Pokemon to your active Pokemon.
I think with
How do
Electric, like this is pretty cool.
Even with Spidops, this could be
Yeah,
interesting.
with Spidops too.
Or like, I think there are a few Pokemon that
Because
could be interesting. with.
Switch hasn't gotten the updated regulation mark, right?
I don't, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be an
Yeah.
evergreen card. But at the same time, it's kind of cool to see this. This reminds me a lot of like Tag Switch, I think it was. But even that, I think was just 1-to-1. This one's like from your bench Pokemon in general.
This is 2 energies to move it onto on the Pokemon
On
that
the
you wanted,
active.
and with an attachment. That's a 3.
Didn't
like,
we get a card that was similar to this already? It was like
You're talking about Poppy, probably.
yeah, Poppy. What was the what's
Poppy?
the difference
The difference is that Poppy was bad.
between- I knew that, but I just don't know what the difference was.
So it's 1-to-1. Or sorry, 2. It's all from the same Pokemon to 1. So up to 2. You're moving 2 energy from one Pokemon to another Pokemon. Whereas N's is 2 from your bench to your active.
Oh, just generally. But
Yeah.
Okay,
So, like,
yeah, that's way better.
specifically in the Spied Ops thing, like literally, like
Like you'd have one
accelerate
energy
off
on
with-
each of them, and then ends plot and attach.
Yeah.
So
Jesus,
this is
that's-
a lot better.
Yeah,
That's insane.
that's way better. Yeah, that's actually really good.
Yeah, I think it's decent.
It's crazy how that small of a difference. Like,
It's not that small. That's the problem. It looks like a small difference if you don't know how to like play the card game, but it is a really big difference in how
Have
the
you
game
played the
plays.
card game, Caleb?
Caleb knows
on
difference.
occasion,
Yeah, he knows.
every blue moon.
But like people look from the outside looking in, look at that card and go, like I saw on Twitter recently, people from the pocket learning about the switch out, resetting attacks.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, aren't you guys cute little kids?
Right.
Pokegear 3.0 gets a reprint, also updating to Regulation Mark I.
I hope this.
Oh, there is an update.
I hope this card stays evergreen. This card's sick.
Also, that means that Pokegear is going to stay expensive until this thing comes out.
Well, it's fine. I mean, it's a reprint, right? It's fine.
Yeah.
Professor's research.
With not an updated.
That's
regulation
correct.
mark.
Yes, once again,
Which
this
is
retains the same
wacky.
regulation mark. Honestly, I really hope they let it rotate. I don't think they will, but I really hope they do.
Well, see, at this point, they're just playing with us. Just like either they're going to give it the regulation mark at the very last moment.
Yeah.
That's probably what they'll do, because that's what they always do.
No, what they'll do is they'll probably do it with the Gen 10 release and have that professor be the updated regulation mark.
Most likely, that's almost certainly what they do. What I would prefer them to do, and I've said this a million times at this point, I would prefer that they let research rotate
And have like Cynthia.
and give us Lorelei. Lorelei is the card in my Ultimate format that it's similar to the way Ino does the shuffle,
Uh-huh.
but you shuffle your hand, put it on the bottom of the deck, draw 6.
Yeah.
That's the format. That's the main draw card I want in the format, is where it feels powerful still like research, but it isn't as powerful and you don't get as much discard synergy.
Gotcha. So essentially, it does force, of course, for you to give up anything in your hand to be able to.
You still have to go
pull
put the cards in your hand. You're not discarding them.
You
but
give them
are-
up in a way that obviously they're not in the draw pool for your next.
They're also not in the discard pile if you just versus seek or something back or something like that. I do think Lorelei would be a very strong card in standard, even currently. Then Tool Scrapper gets
I
a
called
reprint.
this one.
We both did. I'm very happy that we
I'm
did too.
so ecstatic because Ruffian was the most garbage bullshit I've ever seen to get rid of tools. This card is great. The only thing I have to complain about it is it should have been Field Blower. But Tool Scrapper is still great.
We
I'm
did. We
s-
called.
I'm
We knew they
still
wouldn't reprint Field Blower though. We knew they would reprint this.
So ecstatic.
Could have been Windstorm.
They wouldn't do that because that's not an item. All the same, Tool Scrapper is back. Choose up to 2 Pokemon tool cards attached to Pokemon in play, yours or your opponent's, and discard them.
This card's
Windstorm
awesome.
is an item.
It's not an
He's
item.
like a physical item. Like
Oh,
way
I
they
see what
It's an item
categorize
card,
it.
but not an item, which is what they've been moving toward.
Oh,
This-
you know what? I haven't noticed that. Yeah, you're right. Because like anything that used to be an item card, but not exactly an item, is no longer an item.
Right.
Got it.
For the special energy for this set, we have both Ignition Energy and Prism Energy.
Both bangers.
Yeah.
They are. Ignition Energy is very similar to Triple Acceleration Energy, which itself was similar to Boost Energy. However, Ignition Energy is a direct upgrade to Triple Acceleration Energy. If this card is attached to one of your Pokemon, discard it at the end of your turn. That has not changed. However, what has changed is, as long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, it provides colorless energy. Before, Triple Acceleration could not be attached to anything that was not an evolution Pokemon. Well, guess what? Ignition Energy can be, and it serves as a single colorless. But if this card is attached to an evolution Pokemon, this card provides 3 colorless energy instead.
Yeah, this is the best version of this card that's existed so far. It makes it to where you can play it down beforehand before trying to dig through your deck with a research to get the evolution
Because it would
Pokemon.
drop.
Absolutely.
Because it would drop.
It would
off,
just
right?
drop before and you would lose it. So now you can actually attach it,
So
it'll stick.
You get some.
Well,
value out
actually-
of it.
To be clear, the ruling is you just can't attach it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
But now you can actually do that. You can dig through your deck after you attach the energy.
If you're gonna lose it anyway, might as well. If you can afford the attachment for turn, you might as well use it as a single card.
And I think there are quite a few things that can use that.
Oh yeah, 100%. And we'll see several of them in this set.
Yeah.
These sets, I should say.
It's a strong card.
And again, the fact that we have Hilda also is like much easier to
Yeah.
pull out, but you need it exactly.
100%. And that's what we were referencing earlier, right?
Is this one? I'm sorry. Is this one that falls off at the end of the turn or no?
Yeah, it
You're talking about
itself.
Ignition? Yes.
Yeah.
The other special energy in these sets is Prism Energy. As long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, it provides colorless energy.
Literally.
If the Pokemon this card's attached to is a basic Pokemon, it provides every type of energy, but provides only one energy at a time. And this is a reprint of Prism Energy from Next
It's a
Destiny.
direct reprint, right? Like,
It is a
change
direct.
anything.
There is no change to the wording. So yeah,
Excellent. This card's awesome. This card is like, I don't know if anyone's seen like the original print of it, but that in a reverse hollow is super pretty. Like the way they did reverses back on the special energy in the day, super pretty, especially with like the rainbow.
Does it have a leak promo version?
I don't think so, but if it had cross hatches, oh my god.
yeah. But Prism Energy, I'm not sure how I feel about it coming back. To be honest, I'm both glad that it got reprinted and not.
I don't know what deck plays it, but I think it's cool to have in the pool.
I just don't like basic support. I guess is the problem.
Big basic Pokemon.
I don't like how
makes
I don't like it when they directly support basic Pokemon specifically. I would rather it
Just
be
wait
always
till they
evolution.
reprint disgusting pollen Vileplume, it'll be fine.
Okay.
And then force a giant lens.
give me Forest Giant Plants. I'll take that. That way, grass Pokemon can actually do something. All right, so
Print a Blossom yet?
yeah, a good one maybe. They could have done a Water Blossom. Whatever. I'm gonna say. All right, we have this Snivy Superior Evolution line. Let's start out with Superior EX here. It has the ability Royal Cheer. Attacks used by your Pokemon do 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. That's before applying weakness and resistance. And then for 4 energy, one of which is Grass, you do 150 damage. You search your deck for up to 3 cards and put them into your hand and shuffle your deck.
This card is not very good. The thing is, right, with it being a grass type, you're probably gonna run a grass type deck if you're trying to use this with the way it is. Just play the what's the Sunny Day card we just got? Lurantis or
Lurantis. I don't think you're using this for the ability. I think you're using it for Grass Order. I think this is meant to be a controller stall deck.
yeah, we have Triple XL, which we didn't know whenever we first saw this
Ignition
card.
energy, but yeah.
I'm gonna call it Triple XL. That's just what's in my head. But it's just like, yeah, the damage is just so low.
It is, but it's kind of always been low, right? Like
For that energy cost, that's way too low.
I mean,
Like literally Greninja EX for single energy does 20 more damage and it gets 2 less cards, but still. It's like
obviously the 20 stacks, right? Also, like,
It does stack.
I still think it's too low, but I think that's kind of the point for it to like have 4 of them out or something, try to like boost it up.
I mean, if you can do that.
up next, we have Pansage and Simisage, which go straight to the bulk pile.
Mm-hmm.
Petlil and Lilligant, which also go straight to the bulk pile. Maractus, which jumps into the bulk pile.
Unlike the last Marines.
Carablast is vaguely interesting. I think it's more interesting with Shelmet, but
Yeah.
we'll talk about it when we get to it. The ability Exciting Evolution. If you have Shelmet in play, this Pokemon can evolve during the first turn or during the turn it was played.
Pretty cool.
I actually think this opens up in Eternal like an Escavalier
Because there's some really good
Yeah.
Excaliburs.
Cellgore deck. Yeah.
The Selgor, the old black and white arrow one, the one that hits and like goes shuffles back.
The Fusion Strike one's not bad either.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Problem is it's got 60 HP size base.
Yeah. Peter M is saying most of the Pokemon feel like bulk. I don't know if you were here at the beginning of the live stream, but one of my partners here was basically expressing how all of the Pokemon, or most all of the Pokemon, feel like bulk.
I think for this being 150, 4 Pokemon in this set, I think maybe 10 of them are playable. If even that. It's not great. It's pretty bad. It's not. Yeah.
there are some interesting cards.
Your top 10 list can be super easy, man.
You say that, and then it'll be random shit that does fall.
Most
I'm
of
gonna
it's
say,
going to be trainers.
yeah, probably, but we'll see.
You have like 2 Pokemon on there.
Mungus and Amoongus, bulk.
Amogus.
The Swaddle, Levani, again, it's bulk. And just, Levani's kind of interesting, though. I want to cover it anyway. So, healing, Swaddling, heal 100 damage from each of your basic Pokemon.
It's neat.
Like, it's a stage 2, but it's kind of like,
If
okay,
we get
vaguely
Forest of
interesting.
Giant Plants, maybe.
Exactly. Give me Forest of Giant Plants back.
So, sorry, before we move on.
Yes.
Can we highlight the Levani art, the IR that just got revealed?
I don't have that readily available.
Okay, because that card is super
I haven't
It's
updated the site with that yet.
When are we gonna reveal all of them?
Shut up.
cool.
Cottony, also really cool art. Cute art for Cottony.
Very cute.
I actually really love it. It's Sui, so that makes sense. And then we have Whimsicott, which apparently I did not put the clicker on. That's good. Cottony and Whimsicott. Whimsicott is basically a worse copy of Bayonet.
Yeah.
So it has Energy Gift for single grass energy. Search your deck for up to 3 basic energy cards and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like.
I think if that attack costed a colorless, it would actually not be the worst thing ever.
It's still
I mean, having
stage
free
one.
retreat's pretty nice.
Free Retreat is very good. And then Wondercott, and your opponent reveals their hand. This attack does 50 damage for each trainer card you find there. So Bayonet's multiplier was 60. This one's 50.
But doesn't
It's
Poltergeist
it's
take
it's
two
one energy versus 2.
Yeah, that's true. But like Bayonet's other attack also was like
And
I
then-
I think it's like this is definitely something you pair with Badoo, but like you Badoo and then you Wondercott.
to me this feels like Forest Giant Plants.
yeah.
It's like waiting to happen.
What if we got Forest of Mediocre Plants and it's just
Flip a coin if
It's- do we think Forest of Giant Plants wouldn't be broken if it said that you couldn't do it on your first turn?
No,
it's still
It
pretty
would
bad.
still be broken.
like it definitely would
You,
get
you
down
just,
to Eternal
you just
still.
wait the second turn and then do all the stuff you couldn't do
Yeah.
the first turn.
Yeah,
would
but
still
then
be
your
a turn.
opponent at least gets to play the game. There's no like instant item lock from
For a turn.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what Badoo is anyway.
I don't know. I feel like
And
I
don't
feel
have
like
ability
it's just
item lock
little
anyway.
too little.
Unless you count Gelatin's ass and not aggressive.
Deerling and Sawsbuck, unfortunately, are both book.
Yep.
Shelmet. Here's what I'm talking about.
He's-
Shelmet has exciting evolution. If you have any Carablast in play, this Pokemon can evolve during the first turn or during the turn it was played. I think this probably not very good in standard, but in Eternal it is definitely worth looking at as an option for playing some sort of a Scavalier and a Selgor deck. I do think that's worth consideration.
Also, in the defense of Gen 5 Pokemon, the whole Shelmet and Carablast evolution to a Scavalier and a Selgor, I just think it's one of the most unique. Like,
I think it's sick. It's cool.
It's so awesome. That
If I liked any of the 4 Pokemon, I would concur.
Shelmet's
it's
awesome.
so unique. Like, literally, they change gimmicks on themselves.
They literally switch gimmicks. It's super cool.
And then we have a Selgor, which itself is not very good.
It's,
Yeah,
it doesn't even have free retreat. Like, what
Right.
are we doing?
that would be something, but it doesn't have that. Virizion,
Isn't this a 1-to-1 from to the old one? It's really simple.
I know the Terrakion is.
The Trachean is not it, but it's very close because the old one had a 30 base. This one has a 50 base.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so, this one's I think the closest of the 3.
it's
The Cobalion
similar.
to the EX.
It's similar. It's not the same.
Okay, the damage on the second attack is
So
the energy
it's
costs are also
Giga Drain Sacred Sword, so 30, 100.
versus
And then this one's Giga Drain Emerald
30,
Blade,
130.
30, 130.
it's they're definitely spiritual reprints, 100%.
No, they're meant to
Emerald
be.
Blade, again, it's just giving it Sacred Sword.
And Cobalion, I know for a fact, is a spiritual reprint of the EX from Emerging Powers or one of those sets.
Emerging Powers was the one with all
And
three of
then
them.
we have Victini with V-Force. Just 120 damage for single fire energy. I think. Oh, it's not for one. Why do I have that there? I have it wrong. I need to
If
fix
it
that.
was for a single fire,
That would be really good. I
Yeah.
need to fix that. That was actually supposed to be for 2. So for 2 fire energy, V-Force does 120 damage.
I was gonna say for a single fire, that's not bad at all.
That
Yeah.
it's not for single fire though.
But
It's for
of
2.
course, they can't give Victini a good attack.
Why would they do that? That would be too easy.
They didn't even give him an A spec.
Play,
To be fair, they didn't give any specific Pokemon an A spec.
Yeah,
Just
which is
like-
it felt kind of weird that they didn't. To be
It
honest,
makes me a little sad. They totally could with Ogerpon,
play
100%.
Hollow Armorish.
I expected them to give Ogre Pond an A spec. and they didn't.
Ogerpon could have had a really sick A spec. Hey, cat, you're gonna like that Ogre.
But yeah. Okay, so there's that. Victini, not the best. However, one of the cards I'm excited about here is Embor.
Embor's fire.
Embor
Inferno
is
Fandango?
yes, it is in fact fire.
Yes.
The ability is called Infernal Fandango.
Same ability name.
Same ability name. As often as you like during your turn, you may touch a basic fire energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon, and Heat Crash for 4 energy does 120 damage.
What if we got like Kiawe's Spirit and it's just Irida for fire?
I feel like I should know this and I don't.
That would be pretty cool. And then we just Inferno Fandango with a.
Okay, we have ring dance abilities in format right now, and I think even Excalibur, like, it's just not.
Excalibur is interesting because I think it's just the Pokemon selection that it has that's the problem.
Yeah, it's like
You mean,
Chien-Pao.
like,
Chien-Pao is so close to being good, but it suffers from like that
It's
it doesn't have
it's
Irida
really
anymore,
squishy.
and
It's
it's
squishy,
super squishy. Steel is not a good weakness to have right
So
now either.
do we have a better partners for Embor?
Emboar
in the fire?
has a lot of really good partners right now,
Including the new Reshiram.
yeah, with the new
Okay,
Reshiram,
yeah, I was literally gonna say like that's
like the whole Ethan's archetype, like literally just being able to throw a bunch of energy on Macargo, like holy shit, you know?
I feel like we didn't. That's the thing though. Like, is Embor? Excalibur was worth it obviously because it had a decent attacker, even though it was super squishy at the time. It was great. Do we have something similar besides the Reshiram?
Gouging Fire? Question mark?
Shark Cadet.
I'm sure that we'd have to think about it.
Yeah.
I'm still excited for Embor.
Fire hasn't been good in a long time.
You know it's been not good any longer?
Grass.
Oh.
Fire had Welder.
That's true. Fire.
You know what?
That was probably the last time.
You know what has a higher dry spell than grass? Berry.
Actually, no.
Actually, yeah, I don't
That's
think
false.
that's true. I don't think
That's
true.
also false. Fairy has been better
last time Fairy-
since the last time grass was good.
Guardian.
What was the last time grass was good?
Force the giant plants. That was literally the last time grass was good, and it wasn't even for its grass attackers. It was for Vile Plume.
Oh god.
Yeah. I mean, you can get any stage 2 out under Purdue. It's not that big of a deal. You have many ways to get evolutions in play. That's not really that much of a fuss.
We have Grand Tree.
Grand Tree's just one. Yeah, Grand Tree's away for sure.
Oh my god.
Dadamaka, Darmanitan, unfortunately, also bulk.
They already got good cards, so
They did. Pansy, all the monkeys.
They didn't even try with the monkeys.
No, they're
Well,
literally the
they-
same. It's like collect, scratch, and then a 70
Well,
damage.
the thing
attack.
is, they can't give them good ones because of the other monkeys that get rid of the attack costs from. I don't know what set that was. Was that Shining Pallian Fates or something?
I don't know.
You know.
Either way, they're all junk.
Yeah.
Heatmore is vaguely interesting as a card for pre-release? Question mark. Let's talk about it. Tongue Catch. Search your deck for up to 3 in any combination of fire Pokemon and basic fire energy cards. Reveal them and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. And then Fire Claws does 60 damage for 2 fire. I think the attack in pre-release format is actually pretty decent.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Then we have the Litwick evolution line all the way down to
Can we look at the art on the Litwick, please? Like, that art is awesome, and I love it. It's so good.
And has a pseudo realistic.
It's so
Into it.
cute.
Okay. Now for Chandelure. Chandelure has Explosive Flame Pillar. If you have at least 10 basic fire energy in your discard pile, this attack does 100 more damage. You'd be doing 150 for a single fire. And then for 2 fire, burn it all up. Does 180 damage. Discard all energy from this Pokemon.
Why can't
No.
they just make those attacks good? It should have been plus 200 damage.
Because
Because that's a really high, cost.
Yeah, 10 energy in the.
Well, think of it this way. If you have Embor and Chandelure in play, and I'm not saying you ever will, but let's say you have Embor and Chandelure in play, you could theoretically put a fuck ton of energies on Chandelure, use Burn It All Up, attach an energy, and then do a bunch
It's
of damage.
They get KO'd next
There's-
turn, and there goes
yeah.
the stage 2.
And there's literally no reason to ever play this card.
No, there isn't. I'm not saying there is.
Over.
I'm disappointed, is what I'm saying.
Over Ceruledge EX, because Ceruledge will just do it better.
Yeah. And then one of my favorite Pokemon from Gen 5, Volcarona. Heatwave Scales is an ability that says once during a turn you may discard a basic fire energy card from your hand in order to leave your opponent's active Pokemon burned.
So, yes,
Is this better than Volcanion?
it is. I think
I kind of think so.
I think again that turns that deck with the Magmar charge into a single prizer deck without having to use the Volcanion.
What's the
May
condition
not-
for Volcanion thing? Is it just
Has to be in the
Has to be in
active
the
spot, which is good
What's its
too.
retreat? Because we just got Air Balloon, right?
Too, I think. Let me
Yeah,
double check.
So
you were
then it's
you were
basically
relying
a
on Jet.
non-cost. It's basically a non-cost now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if you have Air Balloon.
No,
yeah,
it's 3.
it's
Oh, never mind.
It's
So
3.
no.
No, it's still better.
So yes,
Then this probably
Volcarona
is
makes
just
that deck better.
It probably is just better, yeah.
I mean, you still play a 1, I guess, of the Volcanion just in case. But I feel like Volcarona just replaces.
The thing is, about Corona is 2 cards instead of 1.
Yeah, it's
So-
an evolution line.
It is an evolution line.
that-
All the same.
Which is why I say like still. Like if you're really going in for a turn 1 and you did not
What's
get
the
the
Larvesta?
Volcarona out, you still have the Volcanion option.
The Larvesta is
Larvesta has Peck off, which is send damage before doing damage. Discard all Pokemon tool cards from your opponent's active Pokemon.
Is that the best Larvesta we have
Yeah,
right
I was
now?
gonna ask,
It's
is there a
60
70 HP Larvesta?
Yeah.
In standard,
Yeah,
Yeah.
standard. I don't even know when the last time we got a Volcarona.
uh,
Oh, it's
Larvesta.
got the awesome IR one.
Yes, it's the illustration
There's an
where
80 HP one too.
yeah, we have this one. So
yeah,
I
that's
think we're
the
fine.
awesome one.
Okay, the 80 HP with 2 is not too bad now with Air Balloon.
This is better though because it's 70 HP,
Yeah.
so it's just better.
I love the IR. It's so cute.
Oh yeah, 70 HP gets you.
Little
Buddy Buddy.
baby Arceus just sleeping away.
Yeah. So I think Volcarona is not horrible for like a meme deck. I think the first fire Pokemon really we're talking about that's not Emboar is Reshiram. Reshiram for 2 colorless does slash, which is 50 damage, which is whatever. And then for 2 fire and a colorless Blaze Burst, 130 plus. This deck does 50 more damage for each prize card your opponent has taken. Discard an energy from this Pokemon.
Jason,
So-
quick, do the math. How much damage does it do with 4 prize cards taken?
330? Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
330.
That's a good number to hit.
It's a very good number to hit.
So to be clear, this is essentially again, it's a ramp up Pokemon
It
without
is.
having to like get to like the Charizard, but of course you still have a higher energy
And
cost.
they might as well call it Reshiram.
I think this might like help Charizard come back.
No, that
What
doesn't,
the secondary attacker for Charizard?
I mean, it doesn't have Radiant Charizard anymore, so maybe.
Yeah.
Seems reasonable. And 2 retreat costs, so you can use Air Balloon.
I don't think it's a bad option.
I think it's good.
Yeah, I agree. And all 3 of the legendaries from Unova have essentially the same attack for their type, right?
Very
They,
similar.
they
yeah.
just have a different like downside to it.
Like one has discard energy. What's well, we'll get to those.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good. Penpour and Simipour are bulk. I'll talk about Samurott. Raging Rapids. Once during your turn, you may switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon, and your opponent switches their active Pokemon with one of their bench. It's an escape rope on an ability.
It's all right.
I was gonna say it's a free warp point, but yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
Oh my god, what you said earlier, is that why they changed all the names of like essentially giving them new stuff to everything, like warp point to escape rope because they
Yes.
were actual items?
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
I learned something new today.
Samurott also has the attack Energy Slash, which for water energy does 30 plus damage. This deck does 50 more damage for each water or for each energy attached to this Pokemon.
Unfortunately, there's a stage 1 in this set that does it better. Or not in this set, in Descent Rivals that does it better.
You're talking about the
I.e. Gorbis.
Gorbis, yeah.
Yeah,
That deck's actually kind of cool.
I
I do
wanna
like
play
that
that.
a lot. It's really cool.
So yeah, Basculin, which I love. I like Basculin as
That's
Pokemon.
good, silly.
Ducklet and Swanna, both bulk, unfortunately.
Hey, you can play Triple XL on that bad bitch.
And do a whole 120
can.
damage.
yeah.
Vanillish, and Vanillix are here to not ruin your day because they're going to be going right into the bulk pile.
Ah, they should have been better.
Temple, Palpitoad,
guys are
and
awesome,
Seismitoad
Okay,
are vaguely interesting.
Justice for Seismitoad item lock.
No.
It should have been the.
Why?
No.
It shouldn't have.
No.
That wasn't from Black and White.
That was X and Y, man.
I know. I'm just saying. The one card people think of it when they think Seismitoad is that item lock card.
Except that
one
that's
time
not
he
Black
was
and
played.
White.
I understand that. That's still.
So for the record, are these the only cards with round in the format right now?
I believe so. I was looking earlier because I was expecting. I think a
That's
lot of
kind of
people.
lame if that's the case.
A lot of
get more in the
people-
future.
I think a lot of people were expecting there to be
Honestly, Meloetta should have gotten it.
Yeah.
I remember people were talking about that.
Meloetta. Yeah, but
thematically.
unfortunately, round.
Right, round, baby. Round.
Yeah.
Looking right now.
Your tweet lives rent free in my head, Jason.
Well, thank you. Yeah, the last time we had a Pokemon with round is Loudred and Exploud
From
from Vivid Voltage.
oh geez,
So it's been a minute.
So Eternal.
do we think we'll get more or probably not?
Maybe? Question mark.
I mean,
Eternal maybe. 70 times is not a bad
Because the
multiplier.
Meloetta EX from Generation, no, Legendary Treasures has round.
It does.
So like you have basic round attackers.
They do exist, yes.
So
I mean, Temple is one of them.
yeah, because that Seismitoad multiplier is kind of nutty.
70 times is really good. Like,
It is.
And it's like you can
It
put
is,
the ignition
ignition.
energy on it.
In addition, in
This was
Eternal, you'd also have boost and
Yeah.
triple XL too.
I was literally, this is the one I was thinking of, like the ignition it was essentially made for.
Yeah, it's good.
It has potential to be really good. Yeah.
In Eternal, in Standard, it remains to be seen if
But
round is
we
going to
still
get
don't have special energy recycle or anything like that, right?
not in Standard, but yes, in Eternal.
In Eternal, yes.
If we get more round attackers, and like Christian's saying, if we get like any kind of special energy recursion,
Like special charge.
special charge honestly would be welcome right now.
I think special charge would be fine.
With Lugia rotating, special charge is good.
Yeah, I think special charge is fine. Seismitoad, though, let's read the attacks. We still haven't done that. For 3 energy, it has the attack round, which does 70 times damage. This attack does 70 damage for each of your Pokemon in play that has the round attack. So you're doing 70 base damage because Seismitoad itself has round and you're using round. And then all the other Pokemon in play add.
Do we
to
have
that.
a way to cheat stage 1's into play to like up this?
Yes,
Kingdra
actually we do.
EX.
Kingdra EX. I think that's a horrible way to get into play.
Yeah.
But you could do it.
Which one?
Kingdra EX.
Kingdra
Kingdra
EX.
table.
Because well, the Kingdom you cheat in the stage 2s and then use the Toads and on the rest, right?
If we got Ditto Prism Star though.
Honestly, Ditto Prism would fix it too, because that's 7
Ditto
times
Prism would
5.
fix a lot of decks right now.
Ditto Prism would make this so good. In Eternal, you literally just run this with Ditto Prism and call it done. Because that gets you 3. I mean, prizing. You probably have to run some
saves
myself,
you
but
temples on the field.
it's still very, very good. I am.
What's the HP on the temple? Sorry.
The HP on Temple is
Ah,
60.
That's rough.
Yeah, which is because of Dragapult, but
So do you think, again, with the same question that Caleb asked, pretty much, and if they do, will they add another like line, or will they add like a basic Pokemon? Or
they would probably add another line.
I could see like an X-Spot line getting it. And then you can still use the ignition energy with them.
We also have Tortuga and Caracosta, one of my favorite Pokemon from Gen 5.
Yeah.
The ability Mighty Shell, prevent all damage to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon that have special energy attached.
And for the record, this is a stage 2, not a stage 1, right?
It is a stage 2, so you can rare candy into it off of the fossil.
So for everyone who hoped that we would get restored Pokemon and use Twist Mountain with it, sad face, we cannot.
Don't we have a way for fossil Pokemon directly though?
No,
Not right now.
Not right now.
not anymore.
That Twist Mountain was that option in black and white, but unfortunately,
And then earlier, for recently, we had Amistar V2.
yeah.
Caracosta also has the attack Big Bite for water double colorless. 150 damage to your opponent's next turn. The defending Pokemon can't retreat.
Big bite. That's me when I.
Special energy is not relevant enough to run this, I think.
I mean,
I
it could
think
be
it definitely
okay.
could at any
Yeah,
moment.
it could be.
Like with Prism and Ignition getting printed.
Yeah, it depends on how much like if a deck goes in all in on Prism, maybe.
This card is fun.
This card's pretty cool. I like this one.
Alomomola has the ability Gentle Fins. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may put a basic Pokemon with 70 HP or less from your discard pile onto your bench.
Not bad. I don't think it's terrible.
It's not terrible, but it's
I
not
don't
great
know what
either.
you would play it with, but it's an option.
It is indeed an option. If there's a deck, if there's a situation where you will not be able to use Night Stretcher, this is a potential out.
Attach the air balloon to it and just.
I mean, I think you play Rescue Board here.
Yeah.
Board.
Well, in this deck, you probably, depending on what the other Pokemon are,
Yeah,
you might
which
use. And in Eternal, it'd probably turn board. Let's be honest. U-turn board is
U-turn board.
definitely the best.
U-turn board is the best of that variety.
Yeah,
Escape board's a close second, though, I think.
is just a second.
Mime Jr. makes me. That's the only reason I say that.
Cubchoo and Beartick, unfortunately, are also bulk.
I wish Sure Cold was actually
Cryogonal.
Cryogonal is my favorite Pokemon from Gen 5,
Should have been item lock.
and it is shit.
Should have been item lock.
This card is shit. I'm sorry, but it's so bad.
I wish it was good.
It's not even like, oh, that's kind of cute. It's just ass.
Can we boost the damage?
Why bother? Boost something that's
It
good.
could-
You can
been-
bring in the
it could've been
shaman from
great.
the bench and kill it.
Cryogonal has the attack Drag Off, which says switch in when your opponent's bench Pokemon the active spot and does 20 whole damage. And then it has Icicle for 30. It's just not good. I'm
I
sorry.
wish. It's level ballable, though.
Okay, you know what I wanted? You know what I wanted? I wanted a fucking Cryogonal EX.
Dude, Cryogonal X could go so hard. The art for that card would be so
the
cool.
SIR would have been fantastic. fantastic.
It would have just been like the ice
Cry-
SIR, but just
No. No, you know what they could have done? They could have done like a cryogonal and a ton of cryogonal behind it with a bunch of snow down to
yeah,
it.
it could just be like
It would have been so cool. And they didn't. They didn't
Yeah.
give a shit.
Features highness.
Kyurem EX
It's
has slash for 50, and then for double watercolorless does 130 damage. This attack also does 10 damage to each of your opponent's benched Pokemon for each prize card your opponent has taken. So up to 50 damage to each of your opponent's benched Pokemon.
unless you're playing Dialga Pocket Legend, then you can go higher.
Thomas Laburn says, drag off more like drag yourself on any chance of making day 2. Like, that's,
Exactly.
yeah,
Pretty much.
very much.
I think Kyurem's cool. I think that if it was 20 damage for each prize card,
That would be
then it would be
broken.
really good. Then it would be super good, but I don't think so.
Also,
I
like,
think it's the worst of the
Do you
three.
think this is an intentional?
I think it's also the worst of the 3.
It's intentionally dumbing down Keldeo EX because he's not in his.
That should have had stand-in. That 100% should have had stand-in.
Yeah. Well, like I'm saying,
It
it's a
could've.
worse version of a Keldeo, ultra rare and stuff because it's not in his what is it called, Brave form or something? His
That's
Musketeer form.
just his regular form.
Yeah. This is his regular form. It's the first time we've gotten his regular form like that, isn't it?
As a EX,
Yeah.
I think because they've all been Resolute so far.
The Resolute form. Thank you. That's
Yeah.
what I was looking for.
So, since we're talking about Keldeo X, Gale Thrust for watercolors does 30 plus damage. If this Pokemon moves from your bench to the active spot this turn, this deck does 90 more damage. Yeah, this is 90 damage. Or 120 rather. And then for Water Double Colorless, Sonic Edge is 120 damage. This damage isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon.
Red is Shred.
Shred is shred.
This card's ass.
Yep.
It's bad.
If it had Free Retreat, I'd still say it's bad.
But it would be at least better.
It would be better, but it.
So like I said, a dumbing down of
Zebstrika, one of the other two Pokemon
Let's
from
look at
Gen
the
5
art.
that I
Let's look at
like.
the art.
The art is good, but the card is not. Cute.
Super cute.
Also cute.
That card's so
Honestly,
cool.
these two could have been IRs.
I wish Zebstrika had gotten an EX too.
Zebstrika EX with
Like,
Sprint.
I feel like Zebstrika is one of the Pokemon from Gen 5 that people universally like.
Zebstrika's great.
Like, it's cool,
His cry is iconic.
right? Like Zebstrika and Blitzle, yeah, they're supposed to be Rapidash Ponyta, but they're also unique in their own respect.
Again, a lot of the Unova Pokemon are also like, oh, this is the American version of the other ones.
Yeah. And then we have Emolga, which is basically a 1-to-1 reprint of the EX, but without EX. So,
Can you check the one I'm talking about? I think it's Dark Explorers real quick.
what are you talking about?
The Emolga.
Emolga.
You're talking about the EX, right?
No, it's just a regular one. That one, lower left.
Oh yeah, bottom left. Is it a 1-to-1? Oh no, the resistance.
Oh, it's not an
is
EX. It's
different.
I'm used to the
Yeah.
art being weird. It is not an EX.
It is not the same.
70,
So I saw-
20.
It's not the same.
Because resistance and weakness are different.
Yeah,
Okay,
same.
yeah, you're right.
that's the difference. Is there?
So that one's weak to
This one's weak to lightning, and this one is weak to fighting.
it's weak to
That's not-
fighting. That's a
It's
Emolga?
rock. It's supposed to be rock.
I mean, yeah, I get that. Yeah, okay.
It's a weird. I think it's weird that it. I mean, to
Well,
be.
I mean, okay.
It also gets volt absorb, right? So it makes sense that it couldn't be weak to lightning.
That is true. You are correct.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just thinking.
Doesn't Elise?
The attacks are the same,
Absorb?
which is the
Yes.
point. Joltik and Galvantula. I think this
The
Galvantula is
pretty
not bad.
cool. Yeah.
I think as a single price deck, this paired up with the
Electric.
electric that we're going to see in a little bit could be okay. Maybe question mark.
I mean,
Probably
even
not.
just in Joltik box, it's an option.
But you do have Discharge, which is 50 times damage. Discard all lightning energy from this Pokemon. This attack does 50 damage for each card you discarded in this way.
Yeah, like I said, I think even in Joltik box, this is at least a consideration. And it does have 90 HP, so it's level ballable, which is interesting. They're putting 90 HP on a lot of Pokemon that are like.
And then they didn't reprint level ball. That was one card. That was the other
It
card I called.
Could be coming up.
Yeah, that was
it
the other
could be coming
call.
up.
That was the other card I thought would come out in this pair of sets, and it did not. It was this and that one. Tool Scrapper,
I think it could be in the Mega set, honestly.
maybe
I think it could genuinely be in the
Dynamo and Electric.
Dynamotor!
Woo, it's back.
It is.
And also with a banger art. too.
Yeah, God bless.
Yeah. With Dynamotor, once during your turn, you may touch a basic lightning energy card from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon, and Electric Ball, which does 50 damage.
So, do we want to talk about the usability of the old one real quick?
So this is going to come down to a ruling. Unfortunately, as worded on the old card, there is the possibility that they will rule that it is not a 1-to-1 because the newer version of the card and the newer templating from Scarlet and Violet specifies very specifically basic lightning energy card. Now, historically, there hasn't been a special energy card that you could just attach willy-nilly. So effectively, it was always just basic lightning energy, but ultimately, on a technicality, it could be ruled that it's not a 1-to-1 and would not be legal.
But all they have to do is issue an errata, wouldn't they? If
If they
choose to.
chose to, which they may not give a shit, and they may not.
I hope they do because I have a playset of the old ones and I hope they. I'd love to use.
I have 2 playsets of them, and
I
I
have them literally in my hand somewhere.
in your hand.
I just had them in my hand.
But yeah, there is the chance that they choose not to allow that for a reprint because that word basic.
Is there not any Electros?
Yes,
There
should have been.
He got mixed up. A little bit.
I was like, where is he?
He thinks he evolves from Stunfisk. Okay.
Stunfisk was just like, I'm gonna sit right here.
I would say that Electros stepped on him, but he kind of has levitate, so I don't think he did.
There is an Electros. It's actually just so bad. I don't understand why they do this to Electros.
Yeah,
And they seem to do it every time
Electros
too.
needs to get a good card,
They
man.
just don't like Electros.
It's literally their punching bag.
They do this to some stage too. It's funny. They've done it to Ampharos too, where they like
Yeah,
when they printed a
yeah.
good Flappy, they're like, yeah, absolute ass for Ampharos. It's like, why?
That's sad
It is.
because those are both really cool Pokemon, and then they're like, nah.
The thing is, Ampharos is a really popular Pokemon too.
Yeah, like it got a Mega.
Yeah.
Like, what?
No.
I got the Fabio Mega.
Stunfisk, fun Pokemon, not a good card. Thunder.
Thunderous.
We're skipping
Unfortunately, same
Stunfisk, too.
situation. Zekrom, we'll talk about Zekrom here.
Zekrom's cool.
Zekrom is good.
Never heard of him.
Flash for 50 damage. I know none of us saw that coming. For Lightning Light and Colors, Voltage Burst, 130 plus damage. This attack does 50 more damage for each prize card your opponent has taken. This Pokemon does 30 damage to itself.
That sounds familiar.
It does seem vaguely
Protection Cube reprint win.
I know, right? I do think it's pretty decent though.
Wait, what set is Protection Cube from? That's Flashfire, right?
Yeah. That's
Ah,
two
so
little
that's
things.
not a black and white card.
But all the same, I think Zekrom's not bad.
Yeah, I think Zekrom is probably the best of them. Literally just because of Dynamotor. But
Like I
Reshiram's
said-
a close second.
So we're playing Zekrom Eels again?
Sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's go.
Is there a baby Zekrom in format that's any good?
And Zekrom.
No, like a real one.
I don't think.
Raging
no.
Thunder.
I don't think that one's.
That's the only one, and it's not that great.
Yeah.
It does 30 damage to one of your bench Pokemon. That's ass.
Yeah.
Hisuian
It's not good.
Zoroark smiling right now. Yeah, no, there's no good ones right now.
All right, we have Woobat and Swoobat, which
I'd
are
love to see the IR for it though.
these are both bulk. Sigilyph, which is a Pokemon I like, also bulk. Mana Musharna. Musharna, they had to have it search out bad versions of a bad card. Why?
It literally doesn't even synergize with it at all.
No.
It's literally just because that's the professor that studies
Yeah.
Musharna.
But they didn't like they gave it no real synergy.
Yeah.
There's not like what was it, the Gardevoir? The V, right? Where it would do a bunch of extra damage if you had healed it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so bad. Yamas and Cofagrigus. Okay, Cofagrigus we're gonna talk about.
Cofagrigus is pretty sick.
It has for second
Say
colorless,
it.
elongating Damagregis. Move all damage counters from one of your benched Pokemon to one of your opponent's Pokemon.
And we said that this was a buff to the old one, right?
It is because you can pick any of your opponent's Pokemon.
Yeah.
I think that's vaguely interesting. Good, maybe not.
What's
but
the HP on the
interesting.
Yamask?
The HP on Yamask is 7.
70.
Okay, so there's potential.
So stage 1, have to get it, and obviously 2 energy to do it.
This is like a
And then
like a
you-
one-on-one Gardevoir thing, I think.
It's a very interesting.
I mean, the Gardevoir, you can build up the damage and then.
Yeah, exactly. It's a
Do
1-1
it.
in Gardevoir if it gets played at all.
But wait a minute,
Yeah,
don't
that's a
you
big one.
already snipe with what's his face?
Screamtail, you do. But these are damage counter movements.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it gets through Shaman.
Yeah.
I mean, it can kill Shaman itself.
Fuck Shaman.
Wow.
No,
So
no,
you
that's
really
too
feel-
silly. You were going to talk about Gothitelle. The ability is called Twisted Future. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may have your opponent shuffle their hand into their deck and draw 3 cards.
I happen to think this is really good. There's something here, and I'm waiting for Sander to actually do it.
It's just that the Kingdra didn't see play, and it did almost the same thing but better.
Yeah,
Interesting,
Kingdra was
okay.
basically the same.
And that had Irida too.
Mhm.
This doesn't have anything like Irida.
Can you? I can't for the life of me remember the Kingdra.
The Kingdra was you choose either yourself or your opponent, and you shuffle draw 4.
Interesting. Let me see.
Yeah, this is the Kingdra here.
Once you're in turn, you may have the other player shuffle their hand or hold down the bottom and draw 4. I mean, I feel like 4 is still better than 3, honestly.
Yeah,
Like, I
but
think
you're
it makes
giving
a big difference.
Yeah, you're giving your opponent.
But you're also putting it at the bottom of their deck,
Yeah.
which is still very good. I just don't think the stage 2 aspect of it is worth the effort.
Yeah. If it didn't see play with Irida in format, I don't think this will see play at all.
Solosis, or everybody's favorite special toy, Duosion and Reuniqueless.
Reuniqueless is vaguely interesting.
Reuniqueless is vaguely interesting. Has Cellular Awakening. For each of your bench Pokemon, search your deck for a card that evolves from that Pokemon and put it on that Pokemon to evolve it. Then shuffle your deck, and then Evo Lariat, 40 plus damage. This attack does 40 more damage for each of your evolution Pokemon in play.
It's Grand Balloon Jet.
Okay.
It's
can you
yeah,
use,
it's
can
it's
you use
Grand
this
Blue.
with the shove in and the just to make evolution Pokemon like immediate?
I mean,
Use it with what?
the
With the Shummin and the Carablast.
to get evolution in Pokemon in play as fast as possible is what he's saying. I mean, you're still having to wait a turn to evolve this, so. Does the Solosis have 30
Yeah.
HP?
Solosis has 40.
Whoa, it's a buff. They buffed Solosis. He's so cute.
It's made of
Even
better.
if he's
It's made of
phallic.
better rubber.
Yeah. Solosis is really cute. If it was
Medical
yeah.
grade. Anyway,
Yeah.
It looks like a different thing.
70 HP
Trust me, I'm
erosion
familiar.
feels bad.
and then Elgium and Behemoth are both bulk. Gullet and
Alright.
Golurk are bulk.
Dude, they need to make a good goaler. Jesus Christ.
I agree. Well, Mellow at a card I am not at all excited about, but you are.
I think this card's interesting.
You are drunk, sir.
This card kills Badoo. It's awesome.
ability. The ability is called Live Debut. If you go first, this Pokemon can attack
Okay.
on your first turn.
Hear me out. You
And
can
then-
use TMs going first.
And then Echoed Voice, 30 damage during the next turn. This Pokemon's Echoed Voice attack does 80 more.
Damn, he just made a good point.
You can use TMs going first.
That is pretty
That
good,
is
actually.
a really good point. TM
Yeah.
Evo going first.
TM Evo going first. You got
How do you
Turbo
get-
Energize. You can fucking blindside the shit out of something with the Iron Valiant combo. Like
quick question. How do you get the? How do you consistently get the tool?
Town Store. Run 4 Town Store. You know? We need Adventure Bag in format.
Yeah, that's your bed back. I mean,
He does have a point about that. If you can get
That's
off
really good.
Meloetta
And if you
evolution,
need
that
to,
is
you can-
insanely
And if
good.
you need to, you can Donk a Badoo. Like
can-
that's sick.
you can spank the Badoo.
Yeah. And we have Prism Energy, so you can run it in a deck that
I will stand corrected. I think that there is uses for this. Now that you brought that up, yeah.
TM Evo going first, I think, is a freaking really strong thing to be able to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
I the only caveat I have to say is I don't think you play this in a deck that doesn't run Turo. You have to run Turo, I think, if you
You
run
can run it
this
with also Ditto to like
card.
secure
or Penny, like Penny or Turo, either.
Like you run this with Dittos instead, so that you don't have to put multiple of them or multiple two prizers in there, right? You just copy it to it.
What are you saying?
Doesn't matter, I guess. You don't put it down.
What is he saying?
The Ditto.
Sure.
To like make sure that
Transformative
you.
start.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, maybe.
You're talking about this Ditto.
Yes.
I wish we had Hisuian Heavy, but still.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt about that.
It should have been a lightning type Meloetta so we can ride on it out.
Oh yeah, somebody's talking about TM Machine.
Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah,
TM Machine would work.
There you go.
Yep.
Unironically, TM machine with.
Have we gotten that card yet?
Yes, Dust and Rivals.
Oh, I've opened none of that set, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, we got it in Dust and Rivals.
And
so yes, we've got it.
it pulls out the TM, but again, same problem, chicken and the egg. Like, how do you get the item consistently?
Draw card, Carmine.
Draw lots of cards.
Yeah, Carmine.
Spot?
Frillich and Jellicent. Jellicent EX has the ability Sea Curse.
Curse of the
As
Brutal.
long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, your opponent can't play any item cards or attach any Pokemon tool cards from their hand.
Cool.
And then Power Press has 80 plus damage. This Pokemon has at least 2 extra energy attached. In addition to this attack's cost, this attack does 80 more damage.
It has such high potential and such a low damage output.
I
like it.
like Jellicent, but this feels bad.
The ability is so strong, the attack is so bad. And it has a 3 retreat cost. You can't even air balloon it.
Yeah, I feel like that was intentional.
Card is, and it has really high. I say really high. It has pretty high HP for stage 1.
Yeah. I think that's what they're counting on, honestly.
I don't know. This card, Dark is an okay weakness to have right now, just because Zard isn't especially prevalent. But you know,
I still feel like it's not
Does
great.
let me ask you this. Obviously, having it in the active, does negating the tools on top of the items do a lot? Because I feel like a lot of
Not
people right now are
really.
responding to Badoo by going through TM Evolution, and this one will block both, obviously.
well, the thing is, Badoo's a basic. This is not. You can't
Very
even.
true.
You can't even do this turn 1 unless
Um,
you mellow it up.
I was looking at it.
Except that you would be attacking an ending.
Yeah,
turn,
exactly.
so not even that. I don't know. I feel like this is maybe one of those cards you'll see play, but probably won't actually see any success.
It's
Somebody will try it.
It'll be tried. Somebody will make day 2 with it
wait.
once, and then people
You know
get
what I
hyped
just
up on it.
realized? You can crisis punch with ignition energy. Oh my god! Wait, that's awesome.
That's actually a fair point. Dark is such a good weakness to have. Grimmsnarl just won the FDG, the Full Grip Games 3K.
Look,
event.
I've done nothing with Destin's Rivals yet. I don't know anything that's happening right now.
False. You've done a
Grimmsnarl
bunch of testing already.
is so
Grimmsnarl is good with Frostlass. It's very good. Anyway, Roggenrola, Boldor, and Gigalith, junk. Sock and throw are both junk, but I'm talking about the cards now. The Elbow Strike, and they're junk too. Jolbur and Excadrill. So Excadrill got an EX. That's cool, except they gave it these attacks.
Yeah.
For double fighting, you have Penetrating Drill, which is 60 damage, and then this attack also just 60 damage to one of your opponent's bench
kind of
Pokemon that has any damage counters on it. They didn't even need to do that, and they did it anyway. Don't apply weakness and resistance for bench Pokemon, and then for 3 fighting energy, Rock Tumble does 60 damage, or sorry, not 60, does 200 damage. This attack's damage is not affected by
So
resistance.
that's one of the things they did in Black and White too, was they gave these like really cool Pokemon EXs, like Chandelure got an EX in Black and White, and then they're just trash. Like, why? Why even give them an EX if you're not going to make them at least okay?
I just like that this one specifically said, like, most of them say not affected by weakness or resistance. So
This
the
is just
weakness is against, this is
resistance.
just resistance. It's like, okay, cool. We can still hit for weakness, guys.
And that
Yeah.
attack cost is so bad.
The thing is, a lot of fighting Pokemon have absolutely trash attack
Why?
costs.
And not a lot of acceleration
Its
on
speed
it
is
either.
insane. Why does it have a 3 retreat cost? Excadrill is not a slow Pokemon.
Regieleki, what was it?
I think people,
Regieleki
I
having
think people
3
are.
retreat
Yeah,
costs.
that
I think
sounds-
people are over relying on the speed / retreat cost thing. I don't think that's actually what it's for.
Then what is it? Is it a weight thing?
No, it's a game design thing.
Well, they need to game design them into more better logic, you know?
Yeah, like, use a different Pokemon.
Yeah, use a different Pokemon if that's what you want.
Timber, Girder, the worst Pokemon in existence, and Conkeldurr.
This is a spiritual reprint too.
Conkeldurr has craftsmanship.
Yep.
This Pokemon gets 40 plus HP for each fighting energy. attached to it.
Limitless HP.
That could actually be super good in Eternal.
Yeah. Good.
That could be crazy. Or you just shut the ability off and kill it. Swing around does 100 plus damage. Flips 2 coins, attack does 50 more damage for each head. You like have a lot of HP, but then it's just bad. So
Has there ever been like a good way to accelerate fighting energy? It's like Gutsy Pickaxe and that's it.
we had a stage of 2 at one point that did it.
Salt Man.
Yeah.
Garganackle, and there was another one from Gen 8.
From Gen 8?
Yes,
What was Gen 8?
Sword and Shield.
Oh,
It's the Colossal.
Colossal, yeah. Was it Tar Generator?
Tar Generator, yeah. That was the Rebel Clash, I think. That was decent too.
40 HP per fighting is
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
So you're going to have a stage
So
2
I
single
have
prizer with 300 HP?
my deck is Timber, Rare Candy, Conkeldurr, and 57 fighting energies.
I mean, I just don't understand. I don't understand how you were supposed to like
How do you
get
draw into that?
any knockouts. But how are you getting knockouts with this thing? Because you're reliant on basically doing 150 damage each turn.
All we need is a Max Potion reprint. No, actually, Max Potion's shit.
No, Max Potion won't help either.
I just thought about it.
God.
Throw also sucks.
Moving on.
Can we read the card?
I mean, the card also sucks.
Oh, okay.
That's
You weren't talking about the card.
I hate that this crystal exists when we just got the last crystal.
I mean, the other Crystal also hasn't seen any success internationally. Crystal's ability is sturdy. If this Pokemon has full HP and would be knocked out by damage from an attack, it is not knocked out, and its remaining HP becomes 10. Then you have, for fighting double colors, Stone Edge. Flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 60 more damage. This is like a meme.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's not good. Also, someone want to point out, is it just me or are there two different browns here?
Yeah.
Where?
Like
Browns.
between
Oh yeah, it definitely.
Archon and Crystal, it's a
Maybe
different
it's-
color
maybe
card
it's 'cause
completely.
He's a fossil.
He's just old. Archeops is vaguely interesting. It has the ability Primal Wings. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may choose one of your opponent's evolved Pokemon and devolve the highest stage evolution card on it into your opponent's hand.
I like that almost every single Archeops card they've ever printed has just been a big fuck you to your opponent.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can do this with the ability and then de-evolution also. TM
Yeah.
de-evolution, right?
Yeah, you can. You can just be like, all right, Gardevoir, go away. TM Devo, Curliet, go away.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible for sure.
Which it wouldn't that hard to get
I'm just-
play and everything.
Oh, never mind. It only works when he's inactive. Never mind. This card's bad.
Yeah.
But you have tools to get it into the active and out of the active.
I mean, we already have the Aerodactyl also that hits for damage
Yeah.
and de-evolves at the
The,
same time.
the Aerodactyl's better, and it's a stage 1.
Sure.
And it attacks for colorless energy.
Mienfoo and Mienshao.
Ignition.
Bad. Terrakion you were talking about earlier.
There he is. Yeah, you're right.
Here's your favorite Terrakion.
I love front-facing tracking. It's funny.
It kind of goes with the Landorus
Okay.
also, right?
Hear me out.
This card's awesome.
Hear me out. Terrakion had one too many bananas.
Sure.
What's happening? I don't get the.
He's plugged up.
He's taking a.
I don't get it.
He's taking a dump, but he's
He's
plugged up.
constipated.
I don't eat bananas, man.
Oh, they plug you up.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You're allergic to bananas.
I am allergic to bananas. It's a weird allergy.
Okay.
I like
Landorus
them though.
also not so good.
Why didn't they make any of them good? At least the Tornadus was
I
good back in the
agree.
day.
Like the three, all the legendary trios in this freaking set.
They're all.
I do like the
bad.
art style for this one though.
Yeah, it's
The
cool.
art
It's
is
great.
very.
I mean, like I said, the Thunderous looks sick too. He's front facing, coming at you and stuff. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
upset.
And we have Venipede, Whirlipede, and Scolipede. Scolipede has the ability Poison Point. If this Pokemon is in the active spot and is damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, even if this Pokemon is knocked out, the attacking Pokemon is now poisoned. And then it has the attack Venoshock for Darkness Colorless, 90 plus damage. If your opponent's active Pokemon is poisoned, this attack does 90 more damage.
Meh. Also, the
It's meh.
Scolipede have to get that ability all the time.
I feel like,
Just-
yeah, that is always the Scolipede.
But I don't like this art.
Scolipede's always kind of been like that centaur.
I mean,
sort
it's a
of
fugly Pokemon to begin with.
What?
I was gonna, no,
But-
I'm gonna agree with Jason there. You can't really, make its herd look good even with the beautiful art.
What's wrong with Scolipede?
It's
Scolipede's
hideous.
great.
It's
yeah.
hideous.
It makes Drappa look nice.
What? Okay, tell
Yeah.
me at least Whirlipede.
Whirlipede's
Whirlipede's
fine.
awesome.
Whirlipede and Venipede are fine. It's
Yeah.
Scolipede.
What's
that's
wrong
just
with
sin.
Scolipe? He's adorable.
He is not so adorable. Means
Dude,
not
are you a
adorable.
mother? Because that's the face only a mother could love.
What?
Don't hug a skull.
Maybe you haven't seen the same art I have, because there's some really cute.
Oh, we're looking at
art.
one. Look, it's a good art.
Both Purloin and Liepard aren't that good. However,
The
Purloin
purple's-
is decent,
yeah.
probably in pre-release format. It has the Evil Invitation. Search your deck for the 3 Darkness Pokemon, reveal them, and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. So in pre-release, this is a card to consider, solely because you'll have some search with it. Scraggy and Scrafty also exist. And then Trubbish and
the
Garbodor.
biggest missed opportunity in this
Trubbish
whole
and
set.
Garbodor. This should just say, Trashland, and then this should say
Garbodor.
Garbotoxin. Speaking of which, we didn't even talk about Tortuga. I just realized.
No, we didn't actually.
let's do that really quick.
We were too busy talking about
But
Gyarados.
Carcosa. Yeah, Tortuga has Ancient Debris, which is basically Trash Lance, but with a 30 times multiplier.
Which is pretty big.
It's very good. This tag does 30 damage for each item card in your opponent's discard pile. So if we can get this out
What's the,
before you get item locked into Oblivion, that's pretty good.
What's the ability on the fossil again?
The ability on the fossil,
'Cause
cover
it's not-
fossil,
I was gonna say if that was the bench barrier one, then that's actually
prevent all effects of attacks used by your opponent's Pokemon done to this Pokemon.
Oh shit, that's a Dragapult protection, right?
Yes.
Cool. That's actually probably playable then. Like
But
it's a late game.
if you get item locked, though, it's kind of rough.
because it's isn't it your opponent's discard though? Because that's trash lens, right?
Yeah.
Right,
It
but
is your
if you get item locked,
Oh, you can't play the fossil down.
you can't play the fossil because it's an
Oh,
item.
right, because it
Mhm.
isn't.
It's an item.
Yeah, it is an item. So you have
Yeah,
to get
but
it down
that's,
first,
that's a late game card anyway. You're not going to be item locked that late in the game.
hopefully. Unless they throw a Jealous in the active spot or something.
Bro, if they throw a Jealous on active, that's GG's.
Alright, Crocodile
Exists.
exists. We'll talk about it briefly because of Curse Slug. Tighten Up for Darkness Colorless. I might as well just call that Clench Tightly. 60 times,
God.
60 damage. Your opponent discards 2 cards in their hand. And then Darkness Colorless for Curse Slug, 120 plus damage. If your opponent has 3 or fewer prize cards in their hand,
Price.
cards in their hand. This attack does 120 more damage.
Yeah.
Just a couple of comments there about Hydreigon. We're coming up there.
We are coming up on Hydreigon.
This card's awesome. Zoroark's great. I love this card.
Zoroark.
It's
Everybody's
Ignition
favorite.
Ignition Energy is fine, but the fact that it's another
Everybody's
Big
favorite
added-
overrated Gen 5 Pokemon. With Mind Jack, Darkness does 30 times damage. This attack does 30 damage for each of your opponent's bench
I
Pokemon.
love those
That is a decent attack damage. And then for Triple Colorless, Foul Play, choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks and use it as this attack.
I love that this card is a mix of 2 existing Zoroarks, being the breakthrough one, I think, and then the black and white base one. The cost of the attacks are a little bit mixed around, but like the fact that you can just foul play something for an ignition energy
That's nice.
is kind of insane.
It's pretty decent.
Like imagine just being able to Burning Darkness a Charizard back.
I would like
it's
to.
called Mew EX.
I would like to just Dragapult back.
Quick question: can Mew EX use an ignition, or is there like a Roblox?
It has to be an evolution now.
Well, it can use the ignition as a single colorless,
Got it. Okay.
but otherwise no, it doesn't get the 3 energy.
But like, and Mind Jack was a super playable attack back when.
Yeah, because double color.
Yeah, we have Area Zero, so like you can for a single dark do 240 to your opponent if they're playing like Tropius, which is pretty sick.
And we have Dino as Violet and
I love the
Hydreigon.
Dino art. Can we look at the Dino art? He's so cute. Look at him. He's just chilling. He's so cute.
You're right. You are Gen 5 stan.
I love Dino. He's great.
And then Hydreigon.
Yeah, let's
This card's awesome. I love this
Hydreigon
card.
has the ability Greedy Eater. If your opponent's basic Pokemon is knocked out by damage from an attack this Pokemon uses, take 1 more prize card. And then for Triple Dark Double Colorless, which is an absurd attack
It
cost,
really is.
Dark Bite does 200 damage. During your opponent's next turn, that Pokemon can't retreat.
They were like, if we're gonna give this guy this ability, what's the worst possible attack cost we could give him?
That's
and a
really
bad
weird
damage.
wording. Why did I word it like that?
Again, Thomas points out
need to
Hydreigon
look at
EX, Ignition Energy plus Crisis Punch.
I need to look at that wording on my end because that's really awkward wording.
For which one? The attack or
The attack for Dark Bite, yeah,
During your opponent's 6th turn, that Pokemon can't retreat.
that's not good.
It should be
wording.
the defending Pokemon can't retreat.
Most likely. I need to check it. I need to take a second look at that later.
But yeah, no, this like that attack cost is ridiculous, but like the ability is solid enough that like looking at TMs it could go with is probably worthwhile. Like imagine, I think likely the only way you would ever play this card is playing it with Iron Valiant TM Blindside, and just sniping things on the babies on the bench, and taking 2 prize cards for it. That's like the only way you'd do that.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Because it doesn't say your opponent's active basic, right? It's your opponent's basic Pokemon.
It does. We'll see.
So you could use Blindside.
Yeah, we'll see. Volibite and Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz has Hunt Prey. Once during your turn, you may have your opponent reveal their hand, and you put a basic Pokemon with 70 HP or less you find there onto their bench.
I think this will be just as playable as Lily's Ribombee, probably.
So not.
So not.
And then the
I like it more
Escavalier.
for like the scouting of the hand.
Yeah.
The Escavalier has Wild Lance, which does 90 damage. So unfortunately, if you were hoping that Escavalier was any good,
Nope.
there's your crush.
So that's another thing too, is looking at that card. Like, I've noticed a lot, especially now that they reprinted Air Balloon, that more and more Pokemon are having 3 retreat cost. I don't know if you've noticed that as well. But like, I know Escavalier isn't a very fast Pokemon or anything, but like more and more Pokemon are gonna have 3 retreat now
Yeah, because of Air Balloon.
because of Air Balloon.
Poniard, a Sharp, both not very good, unfortunately. Ferocity and Ferrothorn, not good.
They're just chilling. Like the babies, they're great. They're just hanging out. The art's great.
Cling and Cling Clang. Cling Clang has the ability Gear Coating. Each of your Pokemon with any metal energy attached takes 20 less damage from your opponent's Pokemon's attacks.
Making
We
Crop Rosh
have-
take no damage.
Then you have Hammer In for 120 damage. So, not super good. Durant is straight up bad.
The
Yeah.
second biggest missed opportunity in this set.
I agree. Honestly, as much as I hate that mill deck, it should have been that one. It's
Second-
the iconic Durant.
It
Second
is.
biggest missed opportunity in this set behind
Yeah,
Arbotech.
that would have been a cool one to have. Actually, a good middle card in deck, or in format rather.
Oh.
Kabalion, unfortunately, just like its sisters, is trash.
I was gonna say like, hey, did you just diss what trio, sir?
Well, Trio gets ignition energy actually.
Yeah.
Bug Trio.
Wait, that's kind of fire.
You said
Okay,
Wait a
one
minute.
trio might be good now with winged, or at least decent with ignition. It's still
Wait,
a coin. It's
that's
still a coin.
awesome.
It's still a coin flip mess.
Yeah.
Genesect EX has the ability
Woo!
Metal Signal.
Yeah.
Once during your turn, you may search your deck for up to 2 evolution metal Pokemon and put them into your hand. Then shuffle your deck. You also have Protect Charge for double metal colorless, which does 150 damage. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 30 less damage from attacks after applying weakness and resistance.
Okay, as somebody that like I played, kind of messed around with their Chaladon a little bit, but mostly played the Scizor deck and everything.
Mhm.
Giving Metal the ability to just grab your evolution Pokemon is
It's
so
very good. Yes.
Yeah.
It boosts Metal a lot.
I think this is probably like top 3 EXs in the set.
It might be number 1, honestly.
Yeah,
Behind, you think Reshiramons are coming worse than it?
it's just getting the evolutions out has been such a problem that we're playing Jacques.
Because I was putting it at number 3.
Well, to be fair, Jacques is also seen play because of Bidoof.
I think this card is super. Like, as the guy who played Archalion on the regionals at the start of this year, this card's awesome. This is a one of in any evolving metal deck. It's good.
I do like it. It's good.
Metal
We shall
Enthusiast
see.
Unite.
Axew, Fracture, and Haxorus.
What are you asking me?
I'm hexing you. Axorus has Crosscut for double colors, which does 80 plus damage. If your opponent's active Pokemon is an evolution Pokemon, this attack does 80 more damage. And then for fighting metal colorless, Axe Bomber. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a basic Pokemon, it is knocked out.
Hey, there you go. Use your favorite Pokemon.
Yeah, when do we get DDE back?
Never. Druddigon, unfortunately, not very good. Patrat and Watchhog finally get more cards.
Wait, what's the
What?
finger next turn? This Pokemon's Hyper Fang base attack damage is 240.
Yeah, but Hyperfang is a coin flip.
Oh, never mind. That's trash.
Wah,
I just saw a big number. And went, what?
So if 240, so 240 is super good, right? But Hyperfang
Not only
requires
does
a
it
coin
take
flip.
2 turns to charge.
And they
down-
didn't even give us Fliptini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they'd given us Fliptini, I'd be like, okay, maybe. But no. It's bad.
That's
Wah, wah.
Pidove, Tranquil,
The
and
third-
not
the
Unpheasant
third
EX.
biggest missed opportunity in this.
Not Unpheasant EX for some reason.
Yeah.
Also just kind of trash. Add on, draw 4 cards. High speed flight for 2 colorless. Does 120 damage. Flip a coin if heads during your opponent's next turn. Prevent all damage from and attacks of effects done to this Pokemon.
That's like the old agility Rapidash stuff,
That is
right?
weird. What did dude, I was tired. Some of these cards, man. I need to
Like
reload
last
these.
couple weeks of school.
Jeez, I'm looking at these going, good grief.
Yeah, no. Third biggest missed opportunity in the set is Unfeather EX.
Yeah.
Could have been so good.
And then, I don't know. She's cute. Minchino,
Don't you know?
I don't know.
Dude Wave.
Cool to see that back. Wish it was a 30 or 40 times once flyer.
I wish it was relevant, yeah.
Yeah.
Lillipup, Herdier, and Stoutland. Stoutland is actually decent, so we'll read that. Odor Sleuth, flip 3 coins for each heads, put a card from your discard pile into your hand. And then Special Fang for 4 colorless, does 100 plus damage. If this Pokemon has any special energy attached to it, This attack does 100 more damage.
That first attack's neat.
Odor Sleuth is definitely neat. Yep, that's what
No
you're going to play it
resource
for.
management, but
It's something. You have Bulk EX with the ability Buffer.
it's crazy how like this card was super good as a regular,
As a regular Naniac.
yeah, 90X in what was it, Noble Victors.
Mm-hmm.
That card used to be so good, and then it comes out now with a very similar ability and effect and attack, and it's dog shit. It's terrible.
You just
They
you
couldn't
made
even.
it, you made it give up an extra prize.
Yeah, they couldn't even scale it up to be playable. Like, it could have been like a 120 plus 120, and they couldn't even make it one shot any two prizer. Pretty much any two
Say with
prizer.
me. You could have had it all.
Yeah, exactly. And
So its attack is Goldbreaker for triple colorless, and it does 100 plus damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is a Pokemon EX. It does 100 more. 30 damage is not worth it. Like, yes, you have access to the is it Buffalant?
the other Buffon.
Yeah, the babies.
The
Curly hair one. Yeah. It's still not good though. Even with the minus 60 and the minus 30 together, like, sure, you're getting a minus 90, but shred exactly.
220 is 220 also. Like, it's not that great.
200.
200. It's not even 220. It's 200.
I'm sorry. No,
If it
no.
was-
I'm talking about his HP. Like, I think it's squishy.
Oh, it's very squishy.
If it was 220 damage, okay, if it was 120 plus 120 for 240, yeah, it might actually be playable. Like, as a colorless Pokemon, it might see.
Just like throw it in something with like
Something with the
acceleration, like
I would say.
electric.
Keep it at single prizer.
But like,
That
yeah,
would have been better for
if
sure.
if this had the exact same text as a single prizer, yeah, it might actually see play.
Like I said,
But it's not.
including its other cousins and stuff, that would have been a great deck.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been great because then you could have had one of these in play, use it as an attacker, but you still have the other Buffalo in play, and it would have made it real better. I think that's why they made it an EX, was specifically so it didn't interact with the other Buffalo.
Bullshit. Game
No.
Freak, y'all are
No, it's a Buffalo. It's Buffalo
It's
shit.
Buffalo shit.
shit. Game Freak.
Rufflet and Braviary also go straight into the bulk box. Tornadus joins them, and unfortunately, that is the end of the double set.
Can we talk about Air Balloon again?
Yeah, I feel like we should have done a high note.
to get our
Yeah, let's end on a high note.
to get our spirits back up, we'll talk about Air Balloon once again.
Yippee!
Yay, the card is back.
I've got the It Balloon.
It does look like the It Balloon, I'll give you that. All the same, that's it for Black Bolt and White Flare. So, what do we think overall about this twin set?
It's not.
When
great.
does Megas come back?
Probably in August.
This is so they like have a low note for them to jump straight up to Megas with. That's probably what the set is.
I feel like they're trying to
You
decrease.
mean
So-
to get everybody excited? They're
Hype.
literally depressing them first.
That's probably.
They're like, let's aim for the least popular generation. Let's make all of the worst decisions with that
This
generation.
isn't a Lola, sir.
The least popular generation is Gen 5, sir.
It's a Lola.
No, it's not.
It is
Sales
a-
data very clearly says otherwise.
So I think I don't know how true this is, but we were kind of talking about it before the stream. I think this set is the biggest example of them decreasing the power of the game, because when we look at the way the two megas that we've seen so far, right, the Gardevoir and the Lucario, I think once the Scarlet Violet first couple sets rotate and Mega Gardevoir is all we'll have, that card will not be very good anymore. And then we'll see, the Mega Lucario is just okay. Like the set, like the stuff in this set is very, very obviously of a lower power level than the last couple sets. And even Dust and Rivals and Journey Together are generally just a lower power level than things we've seen in the past. So there's a very steep decline down in power.
To be honest, I feel like they've been doing that for a while.
Yeah, I think we're moving to a two-shot format, which is crazy because we haven't had that in a very, very long time.
Is that
Not
somewhat-
since somewhat.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, not for a really long time.
I don't know how I feel about a two-shot format, but I think it'll definitely make the game a lot more strategic as opposed to
Which
just
it should be. Yeah.
bunga bunga, I swing for 330.
It's like, I attach 15 energy, you die.
Yeah, because like even like the HP is still kind of remaining.
I want to use
about
my
the
damage
level-
counters.
The HP is still kind of remaining at the level that it has been, but it's the damage that's decreasing over time. And yeah, we're still seeing stuff that can hit those extremely high numbers, like the Reshiram, like the Zekrom. But generally, overall, I don't think there's a single thing in this set, other than those in the late game, that swings for 300. I don't think there is. There just isn't. And even in Distant Rivals, I don't think there was. Like Mewtwo capped at 280. Like
Yeah.
it's interesting how we're seeing that decrease in damage output. I think it's cool. I think it's neat.
I think it's overdue.
Yeah.
Look, if once cap is essentially where we're at again.
Yeah,
But that's the thing though. The megas are megas are 3 primers as well. The megas are going to push that HP
Yeah.
threshold high.
Maybe what it is, they just want to put the push HP up, and just assume that because they pushed it up, we're going to be like,
Do you think
this
it's
is
gonna,
better. It's almost intentionally to not necessarily to decrease the power level of the game, but to just buff the megas.
I think the last thing I'm going to say on this is I think that while the general Pokemon level is going down, I think the trainer power is going up.
I think it's going down too.
I think, well, I mean, like seeing things like Air Balloon getting reprinted over Rescue Board, right?
But that's an exception of the rule.
An exception of it. How do you mean?
Like all the supporters have been weaker too.
I mean, to be like, even so, like we got the Rocket Skyla basically, right? That's a very huge decrease from something like Arven.
Yeah.
I agree. I think like let me put it this way. Maybe not that they're getting stronger. I think the quality of them is going up, if that makes sense. Right?
They're more strategic.
They're
Yes.
way more strategic. Like can you scroll down a little bit? Like Tool Scrapper. Like Tool Scrapper's great. Like fuck Ruffian. Tool Scrapper's awesome. Like that card is going to make such a huge difference in the meta. Like those people thinking that their 400 HP Cynthia's Garchomps are going to be safe. No, they are not. Like yeah, I think the strategy of the trainers is going up. Maybe I agree with you. Maybe not the power level necessarily, but it's a nice like not bell curve, but like the graph is intersecting at a point that I think it's going to be very healthy.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut the stream here. My bit rate is absolute trash right now. Unfortunately, YouTube is complaining constantly. So we've seen the whole set at this point, or both sets. So let us know your comments, or let us know your thoughts about this set in the comments below. If you're watching this after the fact, if you're watching it live, thank you for putting up with the constant buffering for the last like 20 minutes. But that's it from us for today. I will see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.